By definition, marriage is the legally or formally recognized union of two people as partners in a personal relationship. MsConceptions is taking the time to highlight what marriage looks like in the Black and Brown community.
Yo, what's going on? What's up? My name is Xavier.
And I'm Marissa.
Man, she's so good. Y'all asking why. But welcome to our version of Why Did I Get Married? So we're gonna go ahead and kick it out for you. Get down into this nitty gritty, open this Bible. First question. Who were you before you met your spouse?
I was always on the go. I was always busy, always doing something. Love to travel, still do. Yeah, energetic, ready to do stuff, very productive.
Okay, good shit. Man, listen, I was a people person before I met my spouse. I am still a people person, and I get yelled at it from time to time. Well, not necessarily yelled at, but I get nudged, like, babe, come on, let's go.
That's true.
But I do feel like I have become more of a, I don't want to deal with that today type person. But I'm still a people person.
Yes, you are. Question 2.
Mm-hmm.
How did you know that your spouse was the one for you?
Man, listen. First of all, Marissa made me chase her, y'all. When I say chase, I chased. I was buying shots at the bar. I was buying bus tickets. I was buying plane tickets. I was telling her, call off work. You feel me? I pay your salary for the day. I actually think I told you that like once or twice.
Yeah, but that didn't happen.
Nope. Don't be telling my business. Nah. So Marissa, in our dating phase, Marissa held me accountable. And it made me feel like I had to work that much more hard. I am a goal-oriented person. And because she held me accountable to do the things that I said I would do, it made me say, hey, I need you in my life permanently. Because I need somebody that will always hold me accountable. Somebody that won't just like be like, I don't want to do it anymore, and I push it off to the side. That's how I knew Marissa was the one.
Love. I'd say.
Excuse my ESPN alert, y'all.
That's real life. Oh gosh. Okay, so I'd say, Xavier he came at a time I wasn't even looking for no one or thinking of no one, or dating at that time, serious dating at that time. But he was such a breath of fresh air, and he was just so different from the rest, and he caught my attention eventually, and
chasing him.
I wanted to give him a try.
Thank you for giving me a try. What do you think prepared you for marriage, and how would you say that preparation has worked in your marriage?
We asked the question again.
Oh man. What do you think prepared you for marriage, and how would you say that preparation has worked in your marriage?
Okay, so preparation, I'd say communication with you and I, prayer, my own personal prayer, prayer life, I'll say, and then just seeking wise counsel. We did good at that.
So you talk to the elders in the church?
I sure, yeah.
Okay, be holy then.
I wanted to be, yeah.
You want to be prepared to be a wife? That's what it is. You want to be prepared to be a wife?
To an extent, I feel like sometimes you can only prepare so much
right?
without getting into it. I mean, you just got to do it.
You got to do it,
you know.
Yeah, which leads me to my answer. You know, I had a bunch of raggedy girlfriends that taught me what not to do. I mean, that's honest. I learned what not to do and how not to treat a woman. You know, and then seeing a few family members with strong marriages, some that have outlasted their partners, because our vows are till death do you part. So, watching them and then just being a grinded out work person, getting up and going to work every day. Like I think my natural life has prepared me for marriage, so it forces me to work to make sure that this works and keeps going.
Okay. We all know that marriage is different when you enter into it and you're committed to seeing it through. We also know that there are bad days in marriage. On days that you may not like each other, how do you handle conflict in your marriage?
Can I go on record saying that, like, we really don't have bad days? I think we have bad moments in our days. But during those moments when we are not agreeing or disliking each other, you know, I do tend to, you know what, let me take a moment to myself because I don't want to say anything that's going to hurt my wife emotionally, because my little feelings might be hurt. I could be mad over something stupid or misreading the situation.
Yeah.
So, and I do my best, which I think I'm really successful at. I do my best to not respond to my wife in a from a place of hurt because I'm mad with her.
I'd say that's correct. We do good at that. And just, if we're arguing or having a moment, we're good at...
label it correctly.
Okay. It is a difference.
A moment.
We stop where we at, whether that's just leave or just stop talking about it. I know I'm good at just like, all right, let's shut it down. Let's talk about it later. I don't want to talk right now. I used to shut down completely, and I don't want to talk at all. But I think
you gonna talk to me.
My husband has challenged me to. No, we're gonna talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's strengthened us.
Because we can't go to bed. We can't go to bed.
That has really strengthened us.
That's why I force you to talk, because we can't go to bed angry with each other.
Right.
Like, that's why. Again, we don't have bad days. We have bad moments in our days. We get through.
Aren't as often either.
Yeah, that's true. Number 5. What does love mean to you? Explain.
Now I'm gonna play the song. There it is. Oh, I was thinking of Kurt Franklin's Love.
A word that comes and goes.
Yeah.
My.
So
take the kids to church.
Love. What does love mean to me? Love is an example of coming home to clean dishes, no dishes in the sink, a hot meal prepared or ordered, our favorite TV show or series at the time on, the baby fed and
you binge watch a lot, y'all.
Put to sleep already or on in preparation. Things that small things, but
they matter.
All of those matter. Because it is an action, and he doesn't have to do this. He chooses to, and I love him for it.
I love you too.
Every day, more and more.
Love is an action word. To me, love is an action word. So doubling down on what Marissa said, just being able to come home to people that want to see you. They're excited to see you at the end of the day. Like, that's love. Like,
Yeah.
being excited to come home to those people. Like, that's love to me. You know, knowing that, granted, I gotta go to work every day because bills got to get paid. You know, baby got to be taken care of. But knowing that I'm out here grinding for a reason, a purpose. You know, not just out here to frivolously spend my money. You know, that's love.
What would you say your spouse's love language is?
Ooh.
Do you respond to your spouse's needs in their love language?
Actually, don't. What are your love languages? What?
Stop. We're waiting.
Well, keep waiting. This is my video. It's my time to
We're
answer,
waiting.
girl. It's my portion. No, so when we first started dating, Marissa's love languages were quality time and physical touch. And yes, like when we first started dating, absolutely, I did. Which I struggled with, like, just shutting everything down, like, because even when I'm not at work, I still work, like, in my mind is going. So I would have to put the phone down, put it on do not disturb. Let's literally focus on you no matter what we're doing. If we're just sitting here talking, if we're out at a bar together, if we're watching something on TV, you know, even with physical touch, it's just more so, hey, I'm gonna just put my elbow on you and just leave it there, you know. But over time, her love languages have changed, and they have become quality time and now acts of service.
Yeah.
So, and a while back, she actually did express that. She told me that they changed, and I'll take notice. So I do my best to, you know, say, hey, let me do this. And acts of services and things of, you know, hey, let me do this unwarranted, not because you asked me to, not because you're complaining about needing to do it, but I know it's something that you do daily. You know, so let me take this off your plate for you. Like, for example, our Timothy's son, he might go through 3 bottles a day, but when those bottles pile up in the sink, Marissa's normally the one to wash them. So be like, you know what, the bottles in the sink, I'm gonna go ahead and wash them this time. And I think I actually did it one day, and she was sitting at the table I think she was playing with the baby and didn't even notice, like literally came in the kitchen, got some out the refrigerator and walked back to the table and didn't even notice I was in there washing the bottles out. But it went a long way because she did take notice. She noticed it. It was like, oh, I know you was washing the bottles. Like, yeah, but that took something off her plate.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that made her say, it's one less thing I have to worry about because it's done. So yes, I do. I feel like I do a good job at responding to your needs.
You do. You do. Your love languages, his love languages, are quality time and words of affirmation.
Okay.
And I feel like I do respond to both of those well. I'm thinking of.
You trying to think, hey man, it's cool. At least you know what they are.
But I absolutely know what they are.
But
I do them daily without even thinking.
A lot of couples don't even know what their spouse's love languages are.
Or how to respond.
Or how to respond to
them.
them.
Yeah. That's true.
It's I'm not gonna say it's innate because most people don't even know what quality time is. Like,
well, everyone's could be different.
This is true. Like, this could be considered quality time.
Yeah. Truly.
All right, moving on. How do you handle accountability? I.e., personal goals, marital goals, career goals. Explain.
How do you handle
accountability?
I'd say we we do really well with doing our own thing. Like especially now more than ever, we both have our own career goals in mind, businesses that we're trying to get off the ground and get going. And so with planning and all that, we do well, and we communicate those things well to one another. And we also check in with one another. So I'd say we do okay. Room for improvement in the other categories on maybe making a monthly marriage goal or something. Those small things, we don't do that, or we haven't done that yet, but the sky's the limit.
Yeah. Let's talk about that
So we
after
check
this
it.
video. Let's talk about monthly marital goals after the video. You get that?
Sure.
Nice, cool. She actually stole my answer, y'all. No, but like we do really well at planning our own things, and then bringing them to the table to introduce them to each other. And every so often, at least once a month, we do make it a point to check in to see how those going.
Yeah.
How those things are going. Like I think right now, my wife's actually interested in, and I probably shouldn't tell this, but she gonna nudge me if I shut up and fall out the chair. Y'all know. She's interested in working on a children's workbook. Mm-hmm. Did I say that right? Is that what it is? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll update y'all and let y'all know how that goes here.
If you can go back and tell yourself one thing about how you saw marriage then versus how you see marriage now, what would it be?
If I could go back and look at myself and say self, and myself say, I would tell myself that marriage is not a prison. Like, marriage is not it's not like no ball and chain thing. For me, like, marriage ain't, it's like, I got a permanent best friend. Inside jokes with. When I'm ready to leave the party, I can look across the room. Or I got somebody I can always text across the room that won't blurt my joke out loud. That won't blurt my joke out loud and just be like, bruh. And we talk about it on the ride home. I got somebody to people watch with. So marriage is not a prison. Like, marriage is like, it's cool. Always being able to have somebody.
Yeah. I'd say that was actually kind of a hard question for me a little bit, because I felt like going in, or what I thought before, I didn't think it was always like what you read about or all the fairy tale movies that you see. I knew it was more to that. I think once you get past the what I would consider fluff, to the nitty gritty, then well, I feel like half of the battle is done.
Wow.
So, but I'd say, maybe don't go in with expectations of what the movies and the books, those fairy tale stories, what you hear.
Script written marriages.
Yeah, like, be open. So,
do you believe in the saying, to enter into marriage, you have to be completely whole? Or do you think this is a misconception society tends to have? Explain.
I don't think. I think that is a misconception. I definitely think being whole sounds complete. And so to be complete, to me, sounds finished. And so you're always growing. You're always, you should, always changing, always growing, always learning. And so for that reason, No, I think it's possible to just keep going, keep growing, and that's it.
Oh God! Have we been drinking?
That's it. Not a bit.
Not a bit. Water, H2O. Make sure you hydrate yourself. Gatorade, H2O.
Come on.
Right. I do believe that is a misconception. I don't think you have to be whole entering into a marriage, and I think that not only society but the church has placed this whole you have to be perfect in order for your spouse to love you, in order for somebody to find you and want to be with you. You got to be perfect. And that's not the case. Like, no. And again, to reiterate your point, we change. Monday is not Tuesday. Tuesday is not Wednesday. We grow daily. We grow hourly because our experiences are always new. So if you're completely whole, then that means you are finished growing. You are done. Mm-hmm. There is right. Nothing left that no one can do to water the garden. Like, there's no water for your flowers. So, like, how can you be completely whole? Because, I mean, if you are, it's like, yo, I am the perfect husband. I can't do anything wrong. That's what being completely whole means. It means I do everything right. And we as a people don't do everything right. So, no, I think that, your partner comes along to, again, help water your garden, and to help lift you up in those areas that
compliment you.
Yeah, compliment you.
Mm-hmm.
And compliment you in those areas that you may not even know that you need complimenting in. So that's how I feel. That was just a long churchy answer, but I mean, it's real. Like, it's real, because if you think about it, when God made Adam, he put Adam to sleep, because before he put Adam to sleep, he noticed Adam working and tending to the garden. And the first thing he said to himself, that God said to himself about Adam was, "It is not good for man to be alone." So if God knew that Adam shouldn't be alone, but Adam had everything, was Adam completely whole before he gave him Eve? Now, Adam had his ish together, though. Meaning that he had a place for Eve to lay her head. Mm-hmm. He knew how to work to provide for Eve. He had all his ish together. He just needed a mate to help him tend to all of those things and to help complement him. Oh my God, I want to
okay, in the corner.
Help me, Holy Ghost.
Okay.
Say, amen, lights, amen, lights.
Okay. What are things you do in order to keep from losing yourself in marriage?
So, before I met my wife, I was an avid bowler. That was my solace, my peace. That's what I did. Hit the lanes. Tough day, hit the lanes. Frustrating day, hit the lanes. So that's what I know. Like, that's my outlet. That's my hobby. To keep from getting stuck and trapped in the monotonous things of marriage, or the things that people consider as boring and repetitive. I've been bowling. Gives me an outlet. That way I can clear my head, think, keep it moving.
I'd say I am, honestly, transparency moment, I am still trying to get back to me. Things that I enjoy doing. I enjoy traveling. I enjoy drawing and painting, and I'm working on other things. Trying to get back to me after motherhood. It's been tough. It was challenging for me. So I am getting back to it, though.
How do you think that having a child has impacted our marriage?
Ooh, it's been challenging. Only because It's been one thing on top of another for us. We got engaged, and then we were pregnant, and then we got married, and then we had a baby. All right, yeah, and then the baby came out. So it was time for. It's just been. It was a hard transition. We didn't really get that extra sweet little honeymoon phase that some couples get, because we're new to parenthood. So just navigating these two major things in our life happening at the same time has been challenging for us. But I think we're okay. We've been taking it day by day, because every day is something new.
Okay. I think that with our son, it has made things kind of tough, because we didn't get that whole first year of being newlyweds, and then we start working on kids or working on a family. Everything literally came back to back to back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it's only made us work harder though, to actually be successful at marriage and parents.
Yeah, I agree. What kind of life do you desire for your marriage and your child or children?
A healthy, prosperous one in all areas of life. Mentally, physically, financially, spiritually, like just all of it. Like, I want my child to understand that nothing is handed to you. You have to earn everything. I will help you the best way that I can. Do my best to make sure that you don't have a want and or need for anything, but you will have to work hard for it.
For sure. I have to agree with what Xavier said. Happiness, health, wealth, all of that. So I agree.
If you had to give someone words of encouragement for their marriage, what would it be?
I'd say, kind of what I said earlier. Take expectations off the table. I mean, great, have standards. That's the difference.
Yeah.
But
no, you're right. You're right.
Take expectations off the table. Actually communicate with your partner to discuss what you want your marriage to look like. Don't try to look at what these other couples are doing, because their marriage will not be what your marriage is. So take the time to communicate these things. And even when you do, those things are going to change what you actually are actually in the process of when you're actually married. So continue to communicate. Never stop.
Yeah. That's huge. Like that's my number one thing. Always communicate. Talk about everything, even if you feel like it's small, minute, and
the good, the bad, the ugly.
The bad, the ugly. Talk about it all. Keep going. Marriage is not easy work.
Yeah.
The easy part, to be honest, is probably planning it and then standing up saying "I do" in front of a bunch of people. The real work begins when everything goes away, and then you got to rip and run to sign marriage licenses, make sure Social Security cards get changed.
No one talks about that.
This thing ain't easy. When you, as boyfriend and girlfriend, we could disagree, and we could not talk to each other for the rest of the day, a couple days, because we live separately. When you get married, it ain't none of that. You gotta figure it out, but keep going. If you got to marriage, pretty sure you could figure out a way to stay in the marriage. Keep going.
It's so worth it.
It is,
and we're enjoying our journey.
I am. I definitely am. I wouldn't trade this for anything.
Same.
Nah.
You would.
I mean, maybe a couple $1 trillion, but
Nah.
I wouldn't trade this for anything, y'all. I love you, babe.
Love you too, babe.
I'm Xavier.
Marissa.
This is why did I get married?
Yeah.